This is the 1972 Honda CL100 Suitcase Cycle. It is a cycle that the frame has been modified by a company out of Santa Monica, California when it was brand new in 1972, modified so that it could be disassembled without any tools. I'm going to quickly go through some of the frame modifications, and then in particular I'm going to show how the handlebar disassembles. In any case, this is one of the main frame modifications. This is a bolt with an Allen wrench welded onto it. You unscrew this bolt and this lap joint here comes apart. This is actually much more complicated than a simple lap joint. There are some pins underneath here that you can't see. And then, as you can see, this was buttressed. There are plugs inside the old frame, buttressed on both sides at the top. The company claimed that these frames are actually stronger than the stock frame. So anyways, once you've unscrewed this Allen wrench, you can take it and use it to unscrew these two Allen head bolts. And that allows the forward part of the engine frame mount to come off. So the engine would stay in the frame, but the frame would separate right here. You'll also see that the ignition switch has been relocated and permanently welded to the front part of what's now the front part of the frame. So that's the really big modification, the most important one, which splits the frame in half, allowing it to go into a small four-seat airplane of the early 70s. A couple other modifications is that the rear axle, the crown nut has been replaced with a hand lever, so you can remove the axle without any tools. Again, part of the plan of this bike was that it required no tools. The only tool was part of the modification, and that was this Allen wrench. So again, you can take the rear axle out without any tools, and the chain adjusters are wing nuts. Another frame modification is a handle was added, welded onto the frame at the back, allowing you to get it onto the center stand more easily. And the fender, which I don't have, with the attached tail light, also was a quick disconnect without any tools. So in order to enable that, they've welded this stud here, and here's, you can see it here too. They've welded that stud, and they've added these stainless studs. So that would allow the fender to come off without any tools. And then there was a single quick disconnect which would disconnect the tail, brake, and rear signal lights. Now here's what I really wanted to get to in this video, and that's the handlebar, which is particularly interesting. The handlebar has got this piece of equipment here, this handle, which you unscrew it, you press the button, this pin comes out, and then the whole handlebar lifts up. So you can see what they've done to the top triple tree. They have added 4 pins here, And here's the bottom of the riser modification. And you can see this is very sophisticated, how they've done this. The company actually took out several patents to allow this to happen. So here I'm going to put it back in. Again, this has got alignment grooves in it too. Put it in, tighten it, and you've got a completely, I'm jiggling it here, you've got a completely rigid handlebar which comes off without any tools. So there it is again, the 1972 Honda CL100 suitcase motorcycle, modified by Suitcase Motorcycles out of Santa Monica, California.